All right. Thank you very much for being here today. My name is Paul Hardison. I am the founder and CEO of Seadog Travels, and the purpose of this talk is just to give you a little bit of background about the company, what we're trying to develop, what we're trying to build, and to get people excited about being in travel again. Sort of how I like to start this off. This is going to be an informal chat. So if you have questions as we go along, feel free to put them in the chat box, and I'm more than happy to answer them. And I have contact information afterwards that you can contact me. So what I thought would be good to start is just a little overview video that we put together to give you sort of a feel and a theme for the company and its purpose. Welcome to Seadog Travels, a travel company for people who love the oceans. We're a different kind of travel company. We just don't help people travel around the world or travel through the oceans. Our mission is to both explore and protect the oceans of the world. We're for people who are boaters, who are sailors, who are cruisers, who are scientists, who are conservationists, all interested, all loving, all with an interest in the ocean. We're for explorers. We're for people who want to get out there, people who want to actually make a positive difference for the future. Because it's all about us, you and me. We have to do our part in the travel industry to protect the health and beauty and vitality of the oceans. The ocean and our lives are completely intertwined. We depend on each other. So we're going to make a difference. Join us at Seadog Travels as we both explore and protect the oceans of the world. But really, the purpose of the company is not just about travel. That's the first thing. Really, the big concept that I'm trying to get across here is that we're working to both explore and protect the oceans of the world. And so that really goes to the name of the company, Seadog Travels. If you know what the term Seadog is, that is sailor, that is nautical, and that is really meant to set the theme for the company and for what we do and what we're striving to do. So you see the tagline up there, a nautical travel company for people who love the oceans. That sets really our target audience of people who may have an interest in what we're trying to do. And it's really an expansive vision, and it's two parts how we're developing the company, part one and part two, which I will get to in a bit. But first, why do we want to do this, and why do we want to do it now? Well, if you're going to start a company and you're going to get in the travel business, you want something that is unique. So we've developed this theme, and it's a very distinct, very recognizable theme for the company, which is nautical, everything to do with the water, with the oceans, with the seas of the world. Now, when you look around into the travel biz, you don't see too many travel agencies have a guiding, overarching theme to what they do, and that's exactly why we decided to choose this, besides our interests, besides seeing an opportunity to enter the market. And then getting into the market, why will this resonate with people? Why do this now? Well, there are a couple of things. First off, as some of you know, and as we all know, we are hopefully coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. And this has really ravaged the travel industry in many ways. It has been the industry that has been the most affected by the pandemic. And now, as travel restrictions are loosening, people are starting to travel again, and hopefully the pandemic will continue to wane and end as the year progresses. People will really be, they will feel safe, they will feel ready, and I think people are ready to travel, that the resurgence in travel, which people have been hoping for so long, will finally happen as this year goes on. And as a subset of market opportunity, again, which I will get to in more detail later, our tall ship sailings, there is an opportunity there where there is not a very large market, and we think we're going to be offering something that is unique. But to go back to the explore and protect theme for the oceans, we are going to do something we think is unique in the industry, and we want to do something to not just give back, because this is not just about travel. This is about operating a compelling travel company that does its part to address really the global environmental challenges that we have today, whether it's ocean pollution, whether it's climate change. These are issues that need to be addressed by every industry in business, and the travel industry really needs to coalesce and get together and have a unified front in helping to address these issues. Obviously, not one person or one company can solve the problem, but it really will be a global community effort to do that. And last but not least, service, which is an obvious thing in business. You have to provide good service. But there are current and past surveys that show that the public is not terribly happy with the service provided by a lot of travel providers. So that is really going to be one of the areas of focus for us, is to focus on the highest quality service for every person and every organization that interacts with our company. So let's get to the big hairy idea, which I alluded to. We are going to combine ocean travel and ocean science into one company and one operation. And that, I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as I go on. And I'm going to describe the progression of how we are working to develop the company to actually achieve that. So, phase one of the company. We are a startup company. We are new. We are an LLC. We started about a year, roughly, and a half ago. And the first thing that we need to do is to develop our core nautical travel company and what we do. So as you can see on the screen here, we have different activities that we have been developing very diligently, very quietly over the past year that are now starting to roll out. The first is our sailing sojourns. These are our tall ship sailing adventures. They're going to be thematic. They are going to be similar or akin to the types of windjammer sailing excursions that occur in the Caribbean that some people have done. But it's going to be more than that. They're going to be thematic. They are going to also, these tall ship adventures in phase two of what we do, that's where the science is going to come in. But to start off with, we are going to charter ships, and we are going to develop these thematic sails. The second is our island and coastal adventures. These are custom-made, hosted, immersive, small group travel adventures to tropical islands and select coastal communities. Again, it's keeping that nautical theme, so we don't just travel anywhere. We don't do small group tours anywhere, but they have to have a distinct nautical theme. In addition, we're going to promote luxury cruises. Cruising is just coming back now and is continuing to pick up speed. But we're going to focus on those small ship cruises that provide more personal service or better personal service, more custom boutique experiences. They go to more destinations, more unique destinations. That is where we are going to focus in that segment of the market. In addition, we're going to offer boat brokerage services through Pop Yachts. We are authorized to do that, so we can help people buy and sell used boats pretty much anywhere. It's mainly in the US, and I'd say a little bit in the Caribbean, but it's technically global. But this is a service that we can provide to people in both ways, buying and selling boats. And so that's our umbrella. This nautical theme, nautical travel company, that's the umbrella that encompasses all of these components. We also have regular travel agency services, so we can book people travel anywhere they want to go. It does not have to be just the destinations where we sail or where we travel. We can book people like any other travel agency out there. So our sailing sojourns, our inaugural sail is going to be in February of 2024. We are chartering the Liberty Clipper, which is out of the Liberty Fleet of Boston. And this is going to be a themed cruise, and we're going to put this together as a pirate-themed adventure, like the pirates of the 17th century, but real pirates. It's going to be what they were really like, not the Jack Sparrow version of pirates. This is going to be about a week and a half, 10-day sail from the Bahamas, round trip from Nassau. We are going to island hop, and we're going to have this be one of our hosted trips. It's going to be hosted by Rebecca Simon, who is an actual pirate historian. She has her PhD, and it's going to be a very immersive, feel like a part of a real pirate crew, and you're going to get a real feel for what it was like to be a pirate in the 17th century. So this is the first, but there are going to be others with different themes, conservation themes, diving and snorkeling themes and such, but this is the first that we are planning to do. Then there are our island and coastal hosted small group trips, and we're starting with 4 destinations, and we're working to develop these and to develop the customer base for these. They include St. Lucia, Maine, the Florida Keys, and Anagua. St. Lucia, we have traveled there. It is often called the gem of the Caribbean. It is a lush tropical island, and we have developed an all-island week-long adventure on St. Lucia. We are also going to go to Maine. And Maine, besides thinking of lobster, which is probably what you think of when you think of Maine, Maine has a very rich nautical history. There are schooners and windjammers that operate every summer season up in Maine, and we have developed for our first trip to Maine a long weekend that really gets into that nautical tradition of Maine. You get time on a Maine schooner, you have an opportunity to explore different nautical museums in Maine, and that is going to be there. And we've already hosted or partnered with Visit Portland, Maine, one of the destination marketing organizations of the state. For the Florida Keys, we are developing what we think, or so far what I've found, is to be sort of the most comprehensive exploration of the Keys that you're ever going to be able to find so far. We're going to travel from Key Largo to Key West and back over the course of a week. This is going to be another hosted trip, and it is going to be by land and by sea, and people are really going to get to experience the natural wonders of the Keys, the culture of the Keys, which I think everybody likes, and it's really just going to be a very, very fun week. And the last one, Anagua, that's really special and kind of near and dear to my heart, because this is something that you won't find anywhere else. If you're not familiar with Anagua, it is the southernmost islands in the Bahamas. There are 2 islands, Great Anagua Island and Little Anagua Island. Great Anagua Island has the only populated of the 2. About 900 to 1,000 people live there. And we have been really fortunate to connect with people who live in Anagua, and we have developed the ability to design a custom group trip to Anagua that includes the possibility of snorkeling, sport fishing, birding, and birding is one of the big attractions in Anagua. So that's very much also being designed as an eco-adventure. And we're very excited because we have our first small group there right now. They are spending an entire week there, and we're very excited to get back in touch with them when they return next week. Now with this is the start, but we're also going to expand destinations as the company grows. For luxury cruises, like I mentioned, we're going to focus on the more immersive, more intimate, more curated experiences, and I have listed some of the cruise lines as examples. They range from Star Clippers to the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, which is new, to Atlas Ocean Voyages, which is also one of the new smaller and expedition cruise lines. And these are on smaller ships, more intimate experiences, so it's not like going on, like Royal Caribbean just came out with their largest cruise ship in the world kind of deal. That is not what we're going for. We are going for more personal experiences, closer to nature, and more relaxed. We will be able to book any cruise line, but we are going to specifically focus on the more higher end, more personal service, more unique experiences in the cruise industry. And so the boat broker is part of what we do. We can help pretty much anybody who wants to buy or sell used boats, and the range of boats that are available, which is in the thousands, anywhere from $10,000 to $10 million as far as the types of boats. Every type of powerboat and sailboat you can imagine is available. And if people want to utilize our services to help them with that, we can certainly do that. And as an interesting side note for the pandemic, this is one of those industries that during the pandemic thrived instead of suffered. The same thing went for things like RVs, boats. People wanted to get, it's a way to get away, I suppose, but these are industries that actually have done very well over the past couple of years. And of course, our regular travel agency services. We are an accredited travel agency through CCRA. We have our IATA number. We are also, because of this accreditation, a member of the Ensemble Network. Being a member of a global network provides us not only access to the tools of the network for booking, but it gives us access to discounts to specific properties such as hotels, resorts. We have access to some international airfare deals, and also land tours around the world, which hopefully those will also be picking up as the pandemic wanes. We also have certification through the Travel Institute as a Certified Travel Associate. That's a designation that I have. And so this also broadens out our appeal because people don't necessarily need to go to an island or the ocean to work with us or work through us. They can use our regular travel agency services, and people already have done so. And something that we're just developing now that we think will be ready by the end of the year is we're going to offer destination wedding services. This is also going to be nautically themed and nautically focused. People who want to get married on tropical islands, anywhere in the world, people who maybe even want to have shipboard weddings. This is something that we are going to develop and cultivate as the year goes on. We're going to start our focus in Arizona, but obviously this is a type of service that is going to have to expand to be available nationally, because we obviously are going to be operating outside of where we're physically located, which is Arizona, to do this. But we can certainly help people do that, and we're looking forward to this. This is going to be a unique service that certainly you can't find everywhere. So we hope to have this ready about by the end of the year. But that's about phase one. We have a 2-year plan to develop the company, to grow the services that have already been discussed. But then there's the big bold theme that we want to do down the road. This will come after the company gets well established. All of our different components of what we do are growing at a good pace. And that is the big plan. The idea here is to purchase 5 tall ships, and which will become really the public face and focus of the company. And these will be ships that we own, that we operate, that we sail where we want to go. And this is where we are going to integrate ocean scientific research into these thematic travel experiences. So basically it's going to be like doing 2 things at once. The idea is to integrate the science that is sort of automatically occurs while these sails happen. And that's a very doable thing. And I have one example for you listed down there at the bottom. There is the Argo project that is run out of the University of California, San Diego, where they create or they build these automatic buoys that are dropped into the ocean. And they operate mostly underwater, and they measure basic ocean information. Salinity, temperature, other chemical characteristics. That is something, for example, we can hook into an existing project but we will also develop new projects and work with other researchers in the marine science community to do that as we go. And this is something that travelers who go on our sails, they can learn about it if they want, but it is something that we are going to integrate directly into what we do. Because when we say we want to explore and protect the oceans of the world, this is going to be our way to help the global community really address and hopefully mitigate and solve some of these environmental problems that we've been experiencing over time. As far as destinations, obviously start into the Caribbean. We envision going to the Mediterranean, and we could certainly go beyond that. But this is a massive expansion as far as effort and money, but we think it's worth doing. So to summarize, that really gives you an overview of what we are trying to develop here. We're at the stage now in early 2022. Spring has just arrived in the Northern Hemisphere. The COVID pandemic is hopefully waning, and travel restrictions, as I think you've no doubt have noticed, are being lifted pretty much everywhere. Hopefully there will be no more waves from the pandemic, but I think the world is one way or another starting to learn how to deal with this issue. We think there's a compelling need for an environmentally focused travel company that does more than just travel. And really the goal overall, as is listed down here, is really to create a global community of people who want to explore and protect the oceans of the world. It's not just a company, it's not just to make money, it's to make a positive difference in the world. We have a website, if you've not been there, seadogtravels.com, and we are all over social media. You can just do a search for Seadog Travels, and you will certainly find us. And I found a quote on Facebook today from a chap named Hunter Thompson. I don't know if you know who he is. He's sort of was an eclectic Hollywood type, but I think this really shares the spirit of what we're trying to do here. Life is really a journey that should be lived. Don't play it safe. You have to take risks, and you have to go for it. And that is exactly what this is all about. Finally, if you would like more information, I have some contact information down here. We have begun a WeFunder crowdfunding campaign. If you want more information and details about the company, I encourage you to follow the link down there for the WeFunder page that we have. It's wefunder.com/seadog.travels. We have an appointment website, and you can see all of our current services and products that we have to offer. And if you would like to talk to me personally about the company, what we're doing, what we're trying to develop, feel free to give me a call. We have an 800 number, 983-3652. Our email is travel@seadogtravels.com. And with that concludes our presentation. And